Hi, I'm John Moran. I am the team leader and founder of Keller Williams Realties at the Beach Team and Smart Beach Investor.
Hey, my name is Lana Bilyy. I work for Secure Choice Lending. I do home loans for financing, help people get into their dream homes.
So Lana,
Yes, sir.
you're from Ukraine.
Yes, sir.
And the reason why that's important, you're helping a lot of Ukrainians
Yes.
coming to the U.S., right?
Yes.
To buy homes.
To buy a home, yes, sir.
They have very little money.
Little money, no credit, but if they follow the instructions we give them, that is, hey, how do we establish credit? I explain the proper ways to establish credit. I tell them what kind of employment they need to get, a W-2 employee, become a worker for somebody. And then I tell them what documentation they need to get overseas to provide to show that 2-year work history in overseas to tie in with the United States work history.
So we got a lot of folks coming over here that have no history of anything, yet you are able to get them financing.
Yes, sir.
And the point I have for this is,
United States.
okay, so if you're a young person, maybe just getting out of college, maybe just getting out on your own for the first time, that's a very similar situation, right?
Yes.
Low credit history, low employment history, low financial capability.
Yes, sir.
We can help them too?
We can help them too. We just need to make sure they have the proper credit. That is, make sure they have the credit cards that they need. Either they establish them on their own or have parents add you to their credit as authorized user to build your credit.
Okay, so we have two young people here that I just described, fresh out of college, just getting started, beginning their careers, not a ton of financial security, all that stuff, yet they want to buy a home. Okay.
I'm Kaylee Pusey, a new buyer specialist on At the Beach Team. I'm 20 years old and I'm new to the business and I'm trying to get established as well as build my wealth.
I'm Jackson Stanford, buyer specialist here with the At the Beach Team, recent college grad.
Okay, so remember when we were talking a few weeks ago with Anna and we were talking about young people just getting started, and what you guys say most of your friends rent. Why?
I mean, I would say 99% of my friends fresh out of college, didn't go to college, are renting. I would imagine it's easier to rent. It's kind of the status quo is that everyone is renting when they're younger and they're gonna figure it out later. I talk to a lot of my friends and I'm just doing this to get my feet up under me and then I'll figure it out later. And that's what I hear from a lot of people my age.
Yeah, I think that's just what everyone's been told to do. Everyone knows how to do it. You walk into an apartment complex and you can be in an apartment within a month. So it's just easy, but they also don't have the knowledge to own a home.
So, Lana, what's your reaction to that?
Well, can you afford rent?
Tell me more about that.
If you can afford rent of $2,200 a month to $2,500, then you can afford to buy a house.
And what if you have a roommate or something? Can you afford $5,000? Or what if you're both are paying $2,200?
I mean, if you go in both on the house, you can afford to pay $5,000 and get a house for that amount.
Interesting. Okay, what do y'all think of that?
That's a crazy thing, being my age, being Kaylee's age, and people that are in our lives, you don't even think about that could monetarily work. I'm surprised that the numbers work that well and it's that easy and transferable one-to-one.
I would say at our age, that's not that much money to come up with. You get a serving job, bartending, and you'll be able to come up with that money.
All right. The issue, I think, everybody can get the rent. We're in agreement on that. Rent is easy. I understand that. It's what we do. Lana, I think the holdback here is the down payment. The down payment is what's getting them, right?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like that's the scary part of it all, especially kids in our age. They, in their mind, they're just trying to get week to week pay their rents instead of, having the means to save. And then, when that down payment comes up, it's kind of like a barrier of entry. You don't think you have the means to do it. You don't really know how to do it. And so that's kind of like the weed out process right there.
I'd have to agree. I would say that even if you are able to come up with the down payment money, there's a lack of knowledge there on what to do with that. Or even you have the down payment money and you're ready to do it. And it's kind of like at our age, you want to hold on to that because it took you so long to come up with that money.
What do you think of that?
Different programs and different ways to come up with a down payment. And parents is the number one resource. If they can give you money for a down payment, your parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, if that's not an option, there's always 100% financing. That is an FHA loan, the brand new program that we came up with, which is the first where you get a second loan for 3.5%. It's a great rate. And then there's always conventional loans that have grants. There's one program that will give you $4,000 depending on the income level that you're at, and another program where they'll give you $5,000 depending on the area you live in for down payment.
So there is an avenue to address the down payment issue.
Yes.
What do you think of that?
I think it's a great thing that we're able to do, but I think it's the lack of knowledge on how to go about that.
Yeah, I honestly, my honest first reaction to that is skeptical, because we obviously don't have the financial we obviously don't know how that would work on the back end or what goes into that. And so when someone says I can get you in a home very easily, in our minds it goes, this is modern day America, what's the catch?
Yeah. Okay. So Lana, question. Let's go through it. Let's say a house costs $400,000.
Okay.
Okay. 400 grand. What is the down payment? What are we talking about here?
We can go with a minimum down payment of 3%.
3%. That's $12,000, right?
Yes, sir.
$12,000. Can y'all come up with $12,000? Can you work for the summer or put some money aside or perhaps get a gift of some sort? Can you come up with $12,000?
My answer to that is yes. I've done it multiple summers. You know, you don't have anything to do, you get 2 jobs, and $12,000 is pretty easy to come by, especially when you work hard.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying earlier, as far as a barrier to entry, you don't expect a down payment to be that figure. You expect it to be a lot more. And so when you hear 12,000, that's definitely something that's attainable. Like I was saying earlier, buying a house down payment, you're looking for a big figure there. I feel like anyone our age would be expecting a large sum of money up front. When you hear 12,000, it's really not as pronounced as a barrier of entry as you really thought it would be.
You probably get there in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. So Lana, young people, 400,000, 12,000 up front, the 3% down. If they don't have it, can they get it as a gift? Talk about that for a quick minute.
Yeah, you can get money from your parents, grandparents, relatives as money for a down payment for a gift.
Okay, so they don't need 12,000. If they can get 6,000 from a parent, they need 6.
Yeah, if they have 6,000 from a parent, they have to come up with 6,000 of their own money.
Okay. Are there other ways?
You can also do the 100% FHA financing. Let's say that FHA right now, the first mortgage is going to be 6.25%. The second mortgage is
6.25%, 6.25%.
Yes, for the first mortgage.
Okay, first mortgage. You're gonna have more than one mortgage?
And then the second mortgage is going to be 2% higher than the first mortgage. It's going to be 8.25%. And I did some various calculations. The second mortgage payment is around $100 to $150, depending on how much you're going to be borrowing. Is $100 to $150 affordable? I think so.
So hold on. What's the 625 on?
Well, your primary, the first mortgage.
Okay, so you're gonna get a mortgage at 6.25. What's the second mortgage for?
For your down payment. The 3.5%.
Oh, you're getting a loan for your down payment.
Yes.
So therefore, you have essentially 2 loans. Is it built into one payment?
It's 2 payment, first mortgage payment and the second mortgage payment.
So are you writing 2 checks or?
2 online payments, 2
online
checks.
payments, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you're gonna get, so let's go back to our $400,000 house.
Okay. Do 3.5% since it's FHA.
$400,000 house, we're gonna go 3.5%?
Yes, it's FHA.
So how much is that?
That's $14,000.
You gotta come out with $14,000. And that's it?
$14,000, and that can be as a second mortgage.
So your second mortgage, right, is
Yes.
basically another loan.
It's
To get
another
for your
loan.
down payment.
For
and
your
that's
down-
for your down payment.
Yes.
So you are basically getting a loan instead of paying that down
Payment,
upfront.
yes.
So you're paying your down payment in monthly installments.
Yes.
So
Okay.
instead of paying like a big chunk at once, you're gonna have
Split it
Yeah.
between $100 to $150 per month.
Okay, for how long?
30
Until you pay.
until you pay it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have, let's say you work extra hard, you
Yeah.
get a bonus at work, you get $5,000. You could drop that $5,000 towards your second mortgage, and then instead of 14, now you have 9. You know what I mean? And just keep on paying off until you
Is
pay
there
it.
any prepayment
No.
penalties or anything?
No
It's
prepayment.
basically when you hit that, you're free. from
You're
that.
free. Yeah.
So is the 100 to 150 on the first or second, or would it be like $300?
So on the second, the way I did the calculations, the second mortgage usually comes up to $100 to $150 per month payment.
So on top of the first one,
More
which
than
is 150,
150.
so it's about $300 a month.
No. The
Yeah.
first mortgage is, let's say the first mortgage, the payment on that is $2,500.
Mhm.
Plus the second mortgage payment is between, let's say, $150. So you have $2,500 plus $150. So you have a $2,650 total monthly payment on your mortgage.
Okay, so about the same as
Or-
owning an apartment.
Yeah, being in a rental,
With no down.
no down payment.
Pretty wild stuff. I'll be honest.
No down payment.
No down payment.
You're in a house. It's a primary house.
Primary residence, yes, sir.
What if I have a roommate?
Well, we can't use the boarding income, but you can use your roommate to pay your rent.
So now my rent is halved, assuming I have a roommate and we're paying 50%.
50% if you have a roommate. Let's say your mortgage is $3,000. You have a roommate that's giving you half, so your mortgage is $3,000 and your roommate's giving you $1,500. Then your rent payment, your mortgage payment is $1,500.
What if you have 2 roommates?
$1,000.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, so regarding that FHA loan, how do you qualify for that? What kind of steps do you have to go through in order to be a qualified candidate for that?
Obviously, you will have to have employment.
Mhm.
You need to have employment. You need to have credit. Complete an application. Let me run your numbers and see what amount I can get you pre-approved for.
Okay.
So when you say employment, Jackson and I are not on an hour late. We are
Salary
commission based.
based.
Yeah, we're commission based. So would that work?
We're not W-2 employees.
Yeah.
So with commission income, you need to receive it for the next 2 years
Mhm.
to be able to take a 2-year average to see what your monthly income would be.
Okay.
So that's the downfall when you're on commission income. If you're out of college and you took a W-2 salary job,